Aries, welcome back. It's time for some honest communication. That's the first card that popped out for this connection, and the nature of this connection, it says expect a heart-to-heart conversation. And Aries, the way that this popped out, it was facing down and it was upside down facing me. And so someone needs to be honest about how they're feeling right now in this connection. Now, I gotta say, this so far, I'm going to get some tarot cards out here for all of these positions. It does not feel like this is a completely damaged or broken connection, but we'll let the cards unfold the story as we continue on. Now, my love cup Aries, if you know that you are in a happy, harmonious connection and you all are just as loving as two bugs in a rug in a tub, this might not be your reading. I don't want to put anything in your mind that would distract you from the loving, harmonious thing that you have. Just keep on scrolling and maybe I can see you next week. Also, Aries, you know if there has been something so damaging that has happened in this connection until you all are just done. This might not be a reading either, because this connection feels like you're working through something challenging, right? But we'll get the cards out here. Also, for housekeeping, there is a placement out here for the nature of this connection, Aries. There's a placement out here for your hidden truth, what you're really feeling in this connection, and for the person who's on your mind and your heart right now. We'll end with the person who's on your mind and your heart right now. So honest communication was the first one that popped out. Popped out a little weird, a little crooked, which lets me know that the communication is needed right now, Aries. Perfect match is also out here. See, so that's the vibe that I'm getting. I don't know if this message is exactly for someone where there's some deep betrayal and you know it's over. You know, for those people who are disrespecting folks, you know your self-worth, that's different. But here, there's something going on where communication can kind of help level this out. And as a matter of fact, that communication can kind of help get clear about what kind of match and connection this could be. Maybe a perfect match here. It says you complete each other in the most harmonious way. Beneath my deck, love language, gift giving. It says tokens of reciprocity hold cherished memories. Now, the vibe that I got out here, just meditating on the energy, the oracle cards, I'll get some tarot cards out here in just a moment, but in the oracle cards that I have out here for each placement, it feels like in place of communication, what it is that you want, what it is they want, the boundaries that you need, what feels right, what doesn't, what's working in the connection, what doesn't, the scary stuff that people don't like to talk about. It kind of feels like what has been used in the place of that hard, honest communication is maybe gift giving, getting each other gifts, maybe going out to eat, anything physical, tangible to kind of distract from that. It feels like it has been used to some degree. Now, if this feels like you're reading, stay on. We're going to get some cards out here to go a little bit further. I'm going to start with this connection. I'm going to stay in this energy with the tarot. God, angel, spirit guides, tell us more for Aries and the person who's on their mind and their heart right now. What is the nature of this connection? We're going to start there. Thank you, God, angel, spirit guides. Let's see. The nature of this connection, please. Thank you, God, angel, spirit guides. Okay, this one kind of just popped over. Okay, so I'm going to keep this out. Now, it's facing me upside down, okay? The deck is upside down, so we're going to just understand that that has to do with someone in the connection who is a provider here. There's another card here that's interesting too, where it's making me pause. There's this limited kind of energy that I'm feeling and sensing for some people, and this emperor energy. So whoever in this energy, there's someone in this energy who has a dominant energy, and there's a vibe of provision, creating a lifestyle that feels right. Let's get a little bit more, God, angel, spirit guides. Why is the King of Pentacles out here for the nature of this connection? And clarity, it's not upside down. My deck was. So we're going to take that upright. Thank you, God, angel, spirit guides. Tell us why for Aries, the King of Pentacles is out here. That is a Virgo energy. We have two more out here going through some ups and downs, and lo and behold, we have the Queen of Pentacles here. So let's just pause this for a moment, okay? Now, again, if you know that this connection is something has rocked your world and this ain't good, this is probably not your reading, because this kind of feels like two people who are going through ups and downs with the Wheel of Fortune. That means if you're feeling low right now, this could potentially get better. This is a wonderful sign, but you're rolling with the wheel of going through your ups and downs. The challenges that this couple is having, Aries, the connection that you're in, it's likely related to money. But I'm kind of feeling a little bit excited about this connection because this is kind of like a divine partnership. You have the Queen of Pentacles, you have the King of Pentacles here. In a love reading, when one of these pops out, if someone's asking me like, hey Shaan, tell me about this person. If one of these cards pop out, that's usually someone who has an honest desire for the other person. And so seeing that both of these cards are out here for you, Aries, it kind of feels like you and this other person on the same page. But there's some challenge that's happening related to someone providing. It feels like there's, again, love language is gift giving. This feels like there's more about making sure that there is provision, a nice home, the car, maybe having all the finances, pulling out the stops with money. But because of that, there has not been as much communication about how to keep this connection going forward. It kind of feels like there's a block energy right now, and you're going through a challenging time right now in this connection. I could be talking to a couple who's married. I could be talking to a couple where maybe you are married or you're not married, but you have children together. It kind of feels like a family vibe because it's really important to have provision here. Okay? Now, for the couples that are new, because there's a vibe of that too. If you're new in your relationship with this person, it's natural to not know how to communicate about things related to money, home, future together. But in this energy, you all are on the same page about what it is that you want, okay? But the communication's off. So let's get a little bit more here. We're going to go, what's working in this connection, God, angel, spirit guides? What's working in this connection for Aries? Thank you, God, angel, spirit guides. What is working in this connection? Let's see here. Okay. You all are in love with each other. You're in love. Anything else? Oh, okay. Okay, so this is what's working. You are in love with each other. That's so beautiful. Aries, I love to see potential in connections. I'm for relationships. So this is a beautiful thing. But, yeah, there is a but. The Queen of Swords popped out in reverse. This is communication. This is non-biased judgment, making a decision and saying what you want, what you need. This is out here in reverse. And then this is here. So again, and I'm driving this point home, it kind of feels like when it comes to talking about things that are important, probably the things that feel uncomfortable, boundaries, there's a need for that here. There's a need for that here. And it kind of feels like why this connection is able to keep rolling forward is because there is this way of giving, providing, covering with things that maybe feel good, temporary things that feel good, loving words, loving gifts, time together that kind of covers the fact that some communication needs to be had about boundaries, about money possibly matters, because you're both showing up here in the Pentacle energy, which means that is a very important factor for the both of you in this connection. But you all have this energy that's very similar. It does feel like perfect match energy out here for those of you that this reading is for and I'm speaking to. This is some Scorpio energy here, just being in love, knowing that you can have it all, and maybe needing to get a little bit more clear on the same page about what you all want. Which one of these cups do you all have in common? What is the plan for you all to get there? Because it's only for so long that disguising what needs to be talked about through gift giving, spending time, having fun, that only can last for so long. And what can happen, thank you God, angel, spirit guides, for that clarity, with this being in reverse, that can cause someone in the connection to become resentful over time. Almost like, the need to have honest communication becomes so suppressed until when it's finally time to talk, it just kind of comes flying out. Like in that Page of Swords energy, it's petty, it's out, it's just word vomit everywhere. And so to keep that from happening, we want to get this Queen of Swords upright so that it's not finally speaking out of anger or resentment because it's been bottled up. So that's the nature of the connection. Now I'm going to come over to you. The oracle cards that popped out from the Hidden Truth deck before I get the cards out here was I hide behind material things. This is on your side, Aries, and it says, I wonder if you are happy without me. Now, there could be a couple who's watching this or someone who's watching this where you're separated right now. So take the messages how they apply. You'll know if this reading is for you. But how that's translating right now in the energy is, I wonder if you would be happier without me, is what that really feels like it's coming through as. For those of you where the communication's been off, you're not completely separated, you're not maybe wanting to break up, but it's just kind of a challenging time. There's someone in Aries is on your side. It feels like there's questions of this. Whatever needs to be talked about is so real. It's so important until Aries, it kind of feels like you're in a space where you've had thoughts of almost anticipating that this relationship would end without talking about the issue straight out and forthcoming. It's almost like an anticipation, like, okay, well, what if this ends? I don't really, let me just prepare for the worst is what this feels like. But this hiding behind material things is really important because it's kind of a theme in this energy. Again, anything to keep from talking about the matter that needs to be addressed. So I'm going to get a little bit more out here for you, Aries. God, angel, spirit guides. For Aries, what is their feeling, their true feeling for the person who's on their mind and their heart right now, God, angel, spirit guides? What is their true feeling for the person who's on their mind and their heart right now? Thank you, God, angel, spirit guides. Okay, yeah, the communication's off. So, and it's having an impact on forward movement. This is the 8 of Wands and it's reversed. It was facing me in reverse. And it kind of feels like there's a desire for things to move forward. Now that I'm seeing this, it kind of feels like you don't really know how to have this conversation. And maybe in some way, you're not exactly sure about what it is that you want from this person. It just kind of feels like, Aries, for whatever this is, what's going on with you, it just kind of feels like you're not exactly sure about how to move this forward, how to get things in a place where you're on the same page, but really how to communicate this thing through. And for some of you, I could be speaking to someone where there's, now this is a stretch, but I'm going to share with you what's coming through. For some of you, you're not living with your partner, you're not living with this person, you're at a distance. Maybe this is a brand new kind of dating thing. And because you're at a distance, you're not living together, there's already doubt, and you're kind of feeling like, I don't know if it's the right time to communicate that I want to be more monogamous, that I want us to move our connection in a deeper direction. I want to talk about money, finances, resources, family. It kind of feels like there's a little bit of an issue with that, or uncertainty about how to move that kind of conversation forward. And there's kind of like the suspicion kind of energy here too with the High Priestess. The High Priestess is all about, it's time to talk about truth. It's time to talk about what it is that you're really feeling, things that you've been observing and witnessing, Aries. It's on your mind and your heart, and it's time to bring it to the forefront. But again, Aries, I'm not sure if you really know how, or you're comfortable doing that, or you're confident about doing that. God, angel, spirit guides, for Aries, what is it that Aries wants from this connection? I'm going to put those back in the deck and start over. What is it that Aries wants from this connection with this other person who's on their heart and their mind right now? What is it that Aries wants in this connection? Thank you, God, angel, spirit guides. Let's see. Okay. What else? Okay. All right. Yep. There's this suspicion. You want to get clear. You want truth to come to the light here. There's a lot that feels hidden. It's working. The connection's working because you have fun. You go out, you shop, you eat, you know, everything is stabilized. There's a system, a well-oiled system kind of happening in the connection. But it's about this, it's about communication. And remember, in the nature of the connection, we had the Queen of Swords out here in reverse, okay? And so when it comes to the connection here, and what it is that you want from this other person, you want someone who can communicate. You want all truth to be revealed. There's a suspicious kind of energy. There's doubt here. And it kind of just feels like, Aries, there's something that you want to be cleared out so that you can feel confident about this connection and feel comfortable moving forward. I just got this too. This is very specific. There's someone who's thinking about moving in with someone else, Aries. It could be you. You're thinking about moving across the state, across the country, into a new location to be with this person, but there's still something on your mind and your heart that has not been addressed, that you feel like you want it to be addressed before you move forward. That's coming through really strong. But again, that's very specific for someone out in the world. Okay, now I'm going to go over to the person who's on your mind and your heart, Aries. The oracle messages that came out for them, the hidden truth for them is, I wish I could share my news with you. And I know I was a distraction from your pain. So that definitely gives vibes of something or someone that's disconnected from someone. There's a vibe of there being some strained communication. So if you're completely separated, you kind of understand that the vibe there, you can see that as well. But again, for those of you where that communication is just not there, but you all are still operating and functioning together, you have your routine set, it just kind of feels like there's a block in some type of communication. And I'm not exactly sure what this is. And it could be related to this. Maybe you have suspicion about some information that just came through. Maybe someone traveling, maybe someone going to school in another city, another state. And you have suspicion that they already got this news, and maybe they have not shared this with you, but you feel like you already know, Aries. That's another thing that's coming up. All right, so the person who is on Aries' mind and heart right now, what is their true feelings toward Aries right now? Their true feelings toward Aries right now. Let's see. Thank you, God, Angel, Spirit, guides. Let's see. Their true feeling toward Aries right now. The person who's on Aries' mind and heart. Okay. Okay. I'm not sure what that is, but I think it's the Three of Cups. Let's see. Yes, it's the Three of Cups. Okay. And then the Moon. This is a fascinating energy. So there's suspicion about a third party here. Someone is suspicious about the other person. What this feels like, Aries, is you might be suspicious about this other person. This person's suspicious about you. So for those of you where you are a new couple, that's a normal thing that happens in the beginning, especially if you like each other a lot and you haven't had conversations about being monogamous yet, but you want to move forward into some level of commitment, monogamy, if that's the thing that you want. It just kind of feels like there's suspicion about if there are other people around, if they're contending or, you know, with other people who might be in the energy. So that's kind of coming up too. Now, Aries, this is another thing that's coming up, very specific. This is not for everyone here, but it kind of feels like for you, Aries, there may have been an ex or someone who's kind of been in the energy that maybe could have been romantic, and the person that you're dealing with right now is suspicious about if you're still kind of dealing with this person, if this person is still around. So that's coming up strong. I'm going to get some more confirming messages out here. God, Angel, Spirit, guys, tell us why the Three of Cups and the Moon is out here. Thank you, God, Angel, Spirit, guys. This is their feeling toward you. Okay, that just kind of popped out in an interesting way. Okay, I'll take that. Thank you, God, Angel, Spirit, guides. Why is the Three of Cups and the Moon out here? This is a Pisces energy. We have Cancer out here. We have Virgo. We have Capricorn, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Gemini, Libra. We've got Pisces out here twice. Okay. Yeah, this is an interesting energy. Yeah, there's something about truth, integrity. They're wanting to be clear about, they want to be clear about who you are, what you stand for. This kind of feels like commitment too. Like, okay, so Aries, if you're wanting to know if this person wants to be serious with you, they're wanting to know the same thing about you. That's what this feels like. This is about, for me in this particular reading, this is about commitment. And we all want to have breakthrough conversation, clarity coming out of the Moon energy that causes a lot of suspicion. It kind of feels like once they become clear as well, they'll feel more peace. They'll feel celebratory. If there has been a loss in a sense of warm connection lately, because I do see a lot of pentacles out here, a lot of swords, but not a lot of cups. So if it feels like, Aries, there's been a cut off, if it feels like there's been kind of like a cut off of the warm, fuzzy, loving connection, and maybe that was there, maybe you're wanting that, it's because there's this level of certainty that needs to be met and felt for this other person so they can kind of move into you a little bit more as well here. You both have suspicions about each other. And so that's why this honest communication popped out facing me upside down, looking at me all crazy, because it's time for you all to talk. And it's going to help you all get on the same page about how to move forward, what it is that you want. And I think it's going to clear out some of this frequency that I don't think the two of you really want to be in, right? You don't want to be in that unknown, resentful, growing space. You want to be in the place where it's like, this is what we're doing, this is what we mean to each other, this is our goal, this is where we want to go. So see if you could have that communication. You have swords out here as a desire. You have the pentacles. You have all of the mechanics of a healthy connection. You have the potential to be a perfect match. But the only thing that's missing is honest, thorough communication and the emotions. To be felt with that emotional. The communication be felt emotionally as well. That emotional connection is needed as well. Aries, that's what I have for you. I love you. I hope I get to see you next week. Take care. Bye.